Okay, we're back. So, while speaking, I'm just going to be randomly running around and maybe, getting some materials, whatever I end up planning on doing. Or we're just going to start a random file. Nah, we're going to run around like fall, man. I have no problem with that. Alright, so 3i Atlus, RELIANCE, the final testament. The word test, the word amen, and the letter T. It's been in our faces all along. Oh my god, alright. I forgot something as well. So just alright. Hold on a second. Alright, yeah. Sorry about that. So with what has been happening on and around this earth recently, the video that I just showed you, I'm quite sure in more ways compared to what people are encouraged to think, brainwashed into, any wrong type of fear into thinking, that thing is definitely real. So what they do is so it was said in the video something about them extracting this world's resources, then basically altogether is about how would they put this? We had wars in the past, but we had World War One, we had World War Two. Every single time they advanced in a different way, like it became a more complex war, right? So this is a war of the species, definitely. If we think we're alone in this shit, then all who think us alone, there's no other species, there's no other clans, no other colonies, are dying retarded, to be honest, sadly. Looking at our Earth and how it was created, who's to think we don't have other bubbles up there? Hey, from Portable Turd, what does he say? Life powder is a fine item to carry when hunting in groups. It heals not only the user, but nearby comrades as well. I must confess, I have a soft spot for the life powder. Never used it before, and I got to master rank and all that other stuff, so I guess I'm fine. But anyways, right? So this spoke about extracting resources. Then they have found a way to hack into the central nerve node that humans generate and resonate with, or Schumann resonance, stuff like that. That's jumping ahead of things, right? But we'll get to those in detail further in my discussion here. Then they use the most powerful thing, the mind of man, against man through brainwashing and doubt-inducing operations. Right? Doubt-inducing operations, we call them psyops, right? So, excuse me, the mind is the projector of this world reality, a truth that has been hidden from public eye. Yeah? So, we think, and subconsciously then, superconsciously, reality obeys our thought. And that has been hidden from us in plain sight. Everything that they put in television more and more, especially these days, the more afraid you make somebody, the more they're gonna wanna believe that, certain things definitely don't exist. If you get what I'm saying. They're gonna wanna doubt everything that they can that seems like danger. Then it's gonna scare them into, in a unique sense, scare them into submission. And they don't want that, this could happen to them, the next could happen. Oh, aliens aren't real. Oh, there isn't any ongoing agenda or drama going on the earth. Like, all of it is you understand, right? So they went on and basically got us to become scared enough to doubt every single thing that's happening, right? We go ahead and we just go to work. Whatever is happening is like, once you do whatever is in system for you to do, you're fine. You just make your money, you go to work, you make your money, you go home, you sleep, rinse and repeat, right? Something like, any person who has a mind, that's like operational enough, let me word it like that, would definitely say that something is definitely wrong there, right? This realm that we, let's see, this realm that we live in, right? It's directly affected by mind energy. And anyone who has really been, I would say, like, properly combing through what it is that we live in, the fact that sometimes you could just think something in your mind and it pops up, or you think something in your mind and it happens like shortly after in no time. Oh yeah, go approach first, right? Yeah. So it's like we're directly connected to that. And this realm that we live in, more and more and more, it is being, I'm quite sure, it is being like fused or infused with the spirit realm, is being more and more influenced by that realm, the mind realm. And this is why things are so weird. Like people are waking up randomly 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, wanting to know what the hell, why they feel this way. The energy is being shifted. We had 2012, we had the main calendar shutdown, and then 2016, all of a sudden, we had a massive increase in UFO activity. It's so odd. Like these things have just been all over the place. Then 2020, we had a mandatory shutdown and everyone was in their homes. It was so weird, right? But everything, believe it or not, everything happens with a reason. Okay? Everything. So we've been encouraged to think something else too. Where is it? We've been encouraged to think, as little as possible. Just do our basic work. And like every single thing, if you use your mind, every single thing has a higher purpose, right? A major purpose. Yeah, I had to turn that on. That I could get my, oh god. That I could get my, oh wait till the character stops running. That I could crouch. That I could get my items easier, right? But that is the purpose they kept us on this earth. People have this weird sense these days, like a shift is going on, and added on to that is like this weird sense that like something that shouldn't be happening is happening. Like you feel totally off. That's why they've been tapping into this species' natural connection. That's what they've been doing for like so many years now. They've been trained to. And as technology, their understanding of this verse gets better and better and better, they just distract us more and more and more. They just tell us more and more half-truths, and I would even call it half-lies by putting all the science fiction on television, and we doubt more and more and more, right? So our DNA, whatever it is that created us, we have many books, many different religions, all saying the same story, all speaking on the same topic. But there is supposed to be some creator, right? This apparently, this species that we call ourselves human, but in every book we are called man. We're never called human. Human is what they did to us, or edited form, and we've then been, we've been called human and encouraged to think that that's what we are, but that's really some prefix that they just added on to the front of our species name, because we are edited man. So what they did, right? The creator, we're supposed to be something very special. The creator then left that code in us. We're connected to the source, I would say, and the fallen, from whatever colony or clan that god or entity came from, they never agreed with that creator. They said that what was done here is not only dangerous, is like they disagree entirely with that commander then. So they situated themselves here, and they basically enslaved humanity, because it's like man has no other choice. They took away our direct connection to that power, right? And they've edited our gene, tampered with it, and found a way to make us more manageable is the correct word, right? So they've made us more manageable, and that was step one, I would say. Now step two is where things get really dang, like this is I would say the Earth story. Then this is where you would start to you start to catch on with what I'm trying to tell you, because especially if you are Irvin, if you were born here and you went through life on this earth, it would begin to make sense. Step two was psychological weaponry against man, when what governments like to call psyop operations. They brainwashed us, they brainwashed man into doubting power is real by attempting to keep this world as normal, as powerless as possible. So it's like, oh, you're not supposed to be able to, influence matter around you just by thinking. You're not supposed to be able to communicate with your minds. You're not supposed to be able to. You're like higher strength is like, look at bears. Look at the dying the lifespan. Like some animals generate current directly. They can shock things into submission and then feed. Animals develop strength naturally just in the environment. Animals develop the best eyesight, the best hearing. Adaptation, they can literally adapt their cells, is most evident in single-celled organisms and tinier organisms. Species, animals are supposed to have higher function that was removed from our DNA, and people who have that DNA, they damage the gene so badly that if your gene, your DNA begins to replicate what I call the X gene in real life, it creates what they call cancer, right? So they found a way to weaken us directly, and even if we return to that gene in any way, our gene has been edited so that it becomes a sickness. That was their way of canceling out or ever being able to stand up to them, right? We're not supposed to be super, we're not supposed to be this, that. And the psychological operation, how that plays into this, is their way of brainwashing us further into doubting that is ever real. Television, right? Brainwash man into doubting real power is real. They made us powerless, and they did this through, putting powers and all of that into television shows and calling these powers fake or fiction. That's their play at things, right? So it's like, oh, you see it on television? Oh, that's definitely fake. Like, nothing about that is real. Like, any person with common sense would say, is it fake because it's on television? And if you're trying to say that, then definitely it's got to be, like, who are you to tell me what is and what isn't? Like, it's fake. It can't happen. And we have all these paranormal things that happen between us, yada yada. The CIA, the NSA, everybody else always gets in the way and covers it up. And it's like, oh, you just had this, you just had that. Brainwashing magicians, they use the powers to, I guess, keep man quiet because this is a sinful earth, and a sinful organism or a sinful person who's only known doubt from birth would use those powers for evil, right? So man is supposed to have immediate control over reality just by thinking. They are hacking into this. So they're hacking into this natural control that man has, whilst brainwashing man into doubting that power through the psyop called television. 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 They're brainwashing us. After the world is normal, that's powerless for enough years, for hundreds of years, man eventually has a fear of power. So it's like we're encouraged to think that even power is evil. Like, we had that recent series called The Boys, and like the decimation, the disgusting, like, Homelander is a total, like, savage, like a killer, right? The things that he did. When you look at it this way, right? If you have a species that was born with powers, they adapt to, you're not just going to walk into a store and pull a gun to someone's face. You don't know if they could, like, fry you like an egg instantly, or, crash that gun with their psychokinesis and kind of just throw you out the glass door straight into the road. Like, These species, believe it or not, naturally would be less violent. But they made these TV series to be brainwashing, make people afraid of these sort of things, get people to think that they're just evil. That is their psyop, right? That's their action right about now. Man eventually becomes more and more evil as well on a world that has no powers, because we are conditioned into believing that we have to do these things to survive. Maybe people rob, people steal, people go killing, whatever, to steal some more stuff like that. There's no power, especially on a world that's overpopulated like it is now, is being set up for destruction. It's very sad, but that is the raw truth, the scary raw truth, right? So without powers, there is doubt. No, a species without powers thinks that evil actions are necessary for survival. That's it. Now, if it seems like I'm reading from a script, this is something that I put together. I rattle off a lot. I'm not really good at, just rattling my ideas. I start to bend off of, so that's what I'm doing here. I showed you that video that, has been on the internet for years now. I'm not sure. I think they edited that a lot. Maybe they took out. I hope not, because I just grabbed that to show you as well. That's something that the same thing could be happening here. They desensitize us. They brainwash us into thinking everything on television is real. So a message like that, say, it could actually come through to government officials, the sorts, and it could leak out into the public somehow. And people would lose, they would begin to doubt the government even more. Stuff that they found out for themselves that are being hidden. So what they could easily do, create a video like that, and make it with this whole, like Andromedian, a whole logo and all of that. You saw how the logo was coming over the screen and stuff. Like just make it to seem a little like Saturday morning television show. Who knows? That could actually be exactly the exact message that came through the earth. Who knows, right? But people would doubt this thing in some form or fashion because of the way it looks, the way it was designed, and in truth, it could actually be a message that they got. Who knows, right? So a sinful world, a world separated from power through doubt, only knows evil, and thus would only think that power would be used for evil. So you begin to think, especially for those TV shows I mentioned, oh, like, dang, like, supers or whatever they're gonna be, like, they're gonna kill us all, yada yada. That these creatures, these things, this is what they were born with. So there's a natural. That's like a child. You give them a bat and tell them this bat could destroy anything, right? And they've been human, evil. They're gonna go and they're gonna do some heck with that thing. But imagine then they're born into an earth where everyone has a bat. They're gonna be more careful with that bat. They'd use it only when they need to. Just like we're humans, and another human we could be put in jail or locked up if we do something wrong, right? We're gonna be careful about that, and we have no abilities, so it's like we're more inclined to think that we can do evil and all of these wrongs and get away with it, right? The same thing happens there, but in a different angle instead, because everyone has a dying bat, or everyone has a dying power, right? It is more, everything is more balanced out. You're not just gonna go and rob a place. You can have like 100 or 200 like power efficient, let's call them that's the term for them, power efficient officers that could just take you and throw you all about. And like imagine a super strong officer teaming up with a psychokinesis, a psychokinetic officer, or something like an officer who could blend with water, another's fire, stuff like that. It'd become more and more impossible to crane, to be honest. Like, imagine a big beer. Imagine a world, an earth where everyone had the strength of a dang beer or more. It's like you'd end up, your purpose then would be protecting that earth, not doing evil to try to survive. We've been conditioned into that, right? So a sinful world, a world that was for hundreds of years does not know about natural powers. These things are like right down behind me. I think I have my defense lowered by that damn whatever those flying ones are called in this, because I think this is a different landmass and continent that 4 Ultimate takes place on compared to other, talking about the game right now, compared to other Monster Hunter games. So I think there's a set to something like that, the flying bugs. But our aim here, what are we supposed to do, just so that I don't, quest info, we're supposed to take out Jagia, right? Is Jagai or Jagia? Jagia are the bigger ones. Yeah, we're supposed to take out Jagia. I think over here we're making it. Yeah, over here we're gonna go make our way to area 9. Yeah. So on this sinful earth, a world that for hundreds of years does not know about natural powers, not referring to, I'm not talking about sorcery when I say powers, is another something that I want to clear up. I'm talking about biological powers, right? Only knows doubt. They only know evil and perfection. So it's like I just explained, they're gonna think that all is evil, like all is like they're gonna kill us. Like, damn it. They have none of that in their soul. They weren't like tainted by sin. That's the best way for me to put it. And they're fine. It's nothing like that that's gonna happen to us. They're here to save us from the evil ones who made us evil or tried to condition us into being evil. Because when you look at it, even the most cruel, unless he's demon possessed or soul is soul or something, or her soul, even the most cruel criminal feels something after they're killed. Like, it's like you feel a disconnection, a loss, like something is off or wrong. You ask any like people who've worked for the NSA, the CIA, for like heavy security ops and stuff like that, they did some killing, they say that it scars you, it does something. You listen to those people. Like, you yourself, if you have a farm or anything of the sort, you kill animals, you know for yourself, is a weird feeling you get after killing. You feel like so wrong. That's because our genetic, our spiritual DNA is not killer DNA. We came from a species that was abundant in protection and what is called like supreme divinity. We're not a killing species. We're not made to do that, right? So step 3, right? Step 1 was them damaging our gene or editing it to be powerless, and step 2 was their brainwashing. Now we're gonna move on to step 3, right? Step 3, their final phase. Man is now doubtful enough and scared enough to accept, right, full separation from own natural power, right? I think I have, yeah, that we get from those. Let's use some of these rations. So we were conditioned through television to see the boys that I mentioned, showing Homelander like burning people to crisps, cutting them in half. Like, I think some plane was about to crash land, and Homelander was in it. And I think something happened. That season came out so long ago now, I can't remember the exact details. But for whatever reason, Homelander left everyone in that shit. That got me saying shit. Got me saying shit when it's actually a plane that they were in. Left everyone in there to freaking die. He did not give a shit, right? And that is the image of a hero that they're purposely painting for everyone. I'm so sorry about this. I left this on 2 scale. I left this, and the program is still gonna try to render at what do you call it, was the term for it, but it's going to try to make it as native to the device that is recording on as possible. But yeah, it's going to say it can't curve, it just faded away already, right? So we're being encouraged to think that power is evil, and they're going to kill us. So doubtful enough and scared enough to accept having that power taken away from us, full separation from own natural power, then they, the fallen, would take full control over this realm, right? Recent TV shows, psychological operations, brainwashing shows, right, show people, humans, that that is only allowed to peep. The human is, you know, that's why they call us people. We're only allowed to peep at our power. We're never, you know, properly, thoroughly, like, educated on it or anything of the sort. We're taught that is evil, or if not, you know, all of it is, all is witchcraft and this and that, Illuminati, stuff and stuff, right? We are only allowed to peep. We're never given the full scope. We're never, like, educated on any of that stuff publicly, public eye. We're kept, and got me saying caught. We're kept, have been caught maybe. We're kept ignorant to these things, right? So, never allowed to comprehend that power, only peep. So they have humans agreeing to have their powers detached or removed out of fear or misunderstanding of power itself. That having power removed is the most evil thing. And majority on this planet have no idea how evil that is. Like, we have stories, or where the other jacket? Let me think. There is, I know this area. I played through a lot. I played through the few beginning monsters and stuff in this. I'm gonna finish this I'm actually gonna finish this mission. Then I'm gonna end this episode off because I'm pretty much at the end of my topic per se. So people are made to think themselves and not even really thinking. Is like where everyone is on automatic. Everyone is programmed to be on automatic these days, right? Dependent on this world, that people would do anything the public world tells them to do to keep working and attaining money. Who's to say that money is a distraction? Money is a setup. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's a text a lot of people know in the Bible, right? That black book, that I call the Chronicle. That's what it really is, right? We're encouraged to think that, you know, we have no choice. It never made any sense. You look at nature, go to nature, and you would thoroughly understand. Like, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider their ways and be wise. Lifting, everything, work. Although they can do all of that, they're still, like, working in unison, I would say. They're team working. And most people on this earth, sadly, I would say for sure, are not encouraged to, you know, actually work together in any form or fashion. It's like everything is not only competition, it's like lethal competition. Like, everyone, they'd break your back for like $1,000 if they could, or 10,000, or 2 million if it could make them richer. And it's like you're being seized into action, I would say. So all of that stems from humans having had their own powers smartly hidden from themselves in plain sight. So it's like people these days are tied up in a system that only seeks to distract and detour from real purpose. The study, and this is the gist of my video here, this is the grand conclusive point of this video, this is it right here. The study has not been, you know, finding other life. The study has not been studying other animals, it has been studying humans. That's why they feed us the weirdest things, these foods and snacks. They put so much things in them, they check our reaction, and they've been developing, you know, technology that not only taps into this realm, it taps into the very signal that we humans work off of. Wi-Fi, everything else is brain control, brain activity, brainwashing. That's their way of tapping into that. So those fallen, definitely not man. Right? Alright, these are the last two for sure. I think I took out 3 and the aim is to get 5 of them. Ah, right. I got 4 and that's the 5th one then. So that's it. Nice. Right? These entities have lived with us for hundreds of years and now readying to try to take over reality through using man's power that man has been brainwashed into not even knowing about, or even just fearing, brainwashed into being afraid of it, right? They're using that power. Some are here trying to return man's DNA to thorough connection, like I said, thorough connection to source power, man. Who wrote that? Holy shit. Others have been here for hundreds of years trying to take that power for themselves. So there's a double side to this. They're the good ones and they're the bad ones, right? We heard about Jesus in the book, and we're even led to think that Jesus is fake. These days, that is being crept into people's minds. There was a recent movie that even showed up Jesus as some sort of like demon-possessed looking evil entity that uses his powers for like exploitation. Is crazy, right? So man, either two things could happen. Man could realize this power and find a way to actually remove self, you know, from this game or this testament in a good way, and actually evolve in the spirit and the physical as well. That's one path. Or man right now remaining unknowing to, you know, and falls to this testament and falls, right? And then our connection could, you know, to the source could easily then be used, because we give up on it, we give it away. It could easily just be used by those entities to hack into reality itself, take over everything. And that right there is the suspense. Maybe there's a text in the Chronicle referring to others visiting here, and you know, it being like basically altogether the words were saying that it would be like the greatest TV show in a sense, and everyone would be watching this earth to see what happens, you know, what's going to happen to Satan, what's going to happen to Lucifer, what's going to happen to, you know, this whole story, the fallen and stuff like that. So that's basically it. 3i Atlus is way more to this than they're like openly saying. And keep yourself, you know, attuned, and you know, to not disbelieving, keep your hope. Whatever system you ended up tied into is not your fault. You've been born onto this planet and you've been conditioned into, you know, this routine, chained like dogs situation. But it's, from what I'm seeing, it's soon over. Definitely is things are going to get better. More than likely everyone is becoming conscious, but what are they going to do about the overpopulation though? That's the scariest part. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and stay tuned for more. This has been Mr. Pokemon 907 signing out.